Should have did. Hi, welcome to another edition of Extra Connection Special. I am James Lott Jr., your host, and we're doing these little specials while my company, which is a Black-owned company, the After Party Radio, they're Black-owned by females, Black females. We're on hiatus because of the COVID-19 virus. So I'm doing shows from my home, my lovely home in Inglewood, yes, California. Inglewood, what, we're doing over here. And we are up to good these days, so I just want to tell you that. That is changing. We are up to good these days. You know, I'm wearing a Brooklyn hat for my family in a BK, of course, Park Slope, Prospect Park. I'm representing everybody. And hiding the hair, that's crazy. We're going to talk to somebody, one of my favorite people in the entire universe. She knows this. I love her more than ice cream and rainbows. It's just a bright light. Actress and producer. You probably know her recently because I've had her on several of my shows with the Chronicles of Jessica Wu, of course, but her accent. But she's all-American from the San Diego area. My girl, Jasmine Hester. Hi, Jasmine.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You beautiful.
And you know I love you.
I know you love me. It's a love fest. It's a love fest, folks. You might get over it. It's a love fest.
Right, right.
So I do this anyway. I've been doing this anyway because of the virus, but now because of what's going on, I always ask my guests first, how are you doing these days?
I am just taking it day by day because I feel like I have a roller coaster of emotions every single day, and I'm stuck in that loop of, like, you know, you can fall into that rabbit hole of just seeing video after video after video, and it's a lot. So I try to tell myself to, like, take breaks, but you almost can't turn away from it because you're like, this is happening in real time. People are finally realizing that, you know, we're not just complaining and whining. It's like, this is real stuff going on. People are losing their lives. Family members are forever scarred, you know? So I'm just trying to take it a day at a time, reach out to my family, my friends, try to, you know, have open dialogue with people.
I would say, I'm going to piggyback on something you just said. I think it is very important. Our mental health as Black people, our mental health is very important. We have Black men and women who are addicted to lots of substances because they're trying to numb the pain of the everyday realities. There are people killing themselves, suicides at all-time high rates among Black people because they feel just displaced or not cared for, not valued. But I think during this time, for those of us who are taking it all in, like you said, we have to take breaks. Trust me, the racism is still going to be there. Unfortunately, don't worry, it's still going to be there.
Right.
I say that with tongue in cheek, of course, but I mean, my Black brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews and aunties, I want your mental health to still be in there so we can continue to fight. We got to take a break. It's okay.
You do.
Don't feel guilty if you do, right? Just don't feel guilty. You have to.
No, I feel like sometimes, like, honestly, it causes so much stress. Like, even, you know, these past, week or so that we've just been bombarded with so many different parts of the story, you know, rest in peace, George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery and all the other ones that fallen before. But I actually noticed that, like, I was starting to get migraines and, like, my stomach would start to hurt. And I'm like, this is not normal. Like, my body, the energy, it's reacting to what I'm seeing constantly. So I'm like, I've told my friends, you know, please, like, take a break, go outside, take a nap, do something that turns everything off for a minute, you know? It's so important.
I got my first migraine Monday night. I haven't had a migraine in like 20 years. And I knew it's because I was looking and reacting to everything and commenting on everything, like, which we do. It's great. But I shut down for 24 hours. I turned off my phone, turned off my social media, and took a break. I had to. I feel much better now. But I had a migraine. I didn't even know. At first I was like, does my head hurt? Like, what? It was like right here. And I'm like,
yeah, that was mine. It was like right above my eye. And it was just, and I'm like, oh.
And I was like, but our mental health, folks, it's very important. And for some of us Black folks who have other health issues and concerns, we have to really be careful with our hearts, our blood pressure. I have high blood pressure. I watch it. So we understand. I understand it's a trying time and you want to kind of get all the information going. But mental health is also very important. If you take an hour or two off or whatever, don't feel guilty. It's going to be okay. You can do that.
Right.
Others are taking the fight. I mean, it's like, we're all part of the same village.
Yes.
So let those people take over for a little bit and then you can do that. I know also, because you're in LA too. So it's like, I mean, it went out to the Valley, the protest. I mean, so how have you been with all that? I mean, like seeing all the different things that are going on.
It's, I'm always for the people. I believe in protest. I believe in the power of speech and unity. Um, I think it's unfortunate that there are a few people that decided that they wanted to swing the message to be about looting and whatever other violence or whatever they can come up with. Um, we can talk for days about that,
Yeah, I know.
but
But yeah.
I'm for it because I feel like for what I'm seeing is something that is long overdue. I'm seeing protests not only in LA, all across this nation, in Amsterdam, in
Yes. Yes.
the UK.
Yeah.
John Boyega, he came out and he was like, I know it's not me and I'm not in the States, but those are my Black brothers and sisters and I'm going to stand with them. And it's not okay what I'm seeing happen. And I appreciate it.
Okay.
Even I've had white friends that I grew up with that I haven't talked to in Lord knows how long, that have reached out to me and they're like, Jasmine, we didn't understand when we were in school, and I just wanted to apologize if I ever made you feel like you weren't wanted or if I was anything racist that you think I may have done. I'm sorry. And I was like, I appreciate that. I don't want you don't have to apologize to
Right.
me.
Right.
I just want you guys have kids now. So I want you to tell them while they're young, show them that they're supposed to respect. You don't have to like everybody because that's just, look, it's not realistic. But you need to respect everybody, no matter who, color, creed, sexual orientation, whatever the case may be. But I'm happy. I'm just trying to keep up with these curfews.
Yeah, I know. He's got one. It's 9 o'clock tonight now in LA. So I'm like, okay, so now it's at 9. Is it at 2:30? Is it at 5? Is it at 6? That one day it was like it said 6. Then next thing you know, it was like 5. I'm like, it's 4:30. So I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's going on? It's crazy.
I was watching the news and even they were confused about the curfew. They were like, I'm sorry, we said 5:30. Oh wait, hold on. It was 6. You know what, guys? Actually it's 5. And I'm like, what? What is going on? Just pick a time. Just pick a time.
I saw that just about a half hour ago. I'm like, oh, it's just saying 9 o'clock tonight. That may change, folks, as of, who knows?
Yes.
They're saying
yes.
9, but who knows? So you grew up in the San Diego area, correct?
I did.
So what was it like for you growing up? Because you grew up, in the 90s? I guess I'm thinking the 90s. Probably.
I'm an 80s baby, 90s kid.
Yes. So
and it was, you know what? I had a very, well, you got to know, like, San Diego is a big military city. So it's pretty diverse. I'm a Navy brat myself. And, like, my friends growing up, like, we were all from, like, it was just a rainbow of colors. Like, my 2 best friends growing up was, like, Japanese American and Yugoslavian American.
Oh, wow, okay.
And across the street was, like, a Filipino. And then there's a Hispanic, there's blacks, because, Black people have to be in the church, like, every day of the week. So, so I was very blessed to get a lot of cultures and a lot of different experiences early. So it wasn't really until I started hitting like maybe like early middle school-ish that I started to know that, like, oh, there's a difference between all of us.
And
how'd that happen? How'd
that manifest? How did you realize there was a difference?
I remember I was in class and I was the only Black girl in class. Okay. And we were talking about slavery. And for some reason, I had never connected myself with slavery. And this guy in the class was like, wow, well, if slavery was real, that would mean that Jasmine would be a slave right now. And everyone, turned and looked at me, and that was like whoa, what are you saying? Like, and that's when I started noticing, like, yes, I am different. And it was funny because it wasn't like we are different from each other. It was like, I feel like I'm the different one.
Yes.
So that was probably my first.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I told somebody on my other show, I go, here's what's so funny for you guys. I grew up in the ghetto. I'm here in South Central Los Angeles, and I didn't learn Black history until I went to college.
Okay.
How crazy is that?
I can agree. No, I've had the same experience. I was actually embarrassed. I went to UCR. I graduated from UCR, and I had a Black studies professor, and I felt embarrassed that she was naming off people in our history and things that happened during slavery that I had no idea. And there were, other people there that were just like, oh, I know this.
Yeah,
I know that. And I'm like, well,
Yeah, right.
Where did you find this information? I know the basics,
Yeah. In the basic, yeah.
the basics. So I was very embarrassed. I had the
Yeah.
same experience as
So I
you.
was like, how ironic is that? I'm in a mostly all black school, and I'm learning white history basically. That's what I was learning.
Hmm.
I had to leave LA to go to college to learn black history. Like, how effed up is that? I was like, just kind of like, that's crazy.
That's why I feel like it's really important. Like as soon I will always watch documentaries, or I'm always reading something or whatever. And so I feel like it's so important to just, if you learn something, like passing that knowledge is the best gift you can give somebody.
I agree. I agree.
So they don't have to be like us and take forever to learn something that we should know. This is our history, so
And it's our American history, folks.
amen.
Black history, but it's American history. That happened here
Right.
in America. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm glad that some schools are starting to teach that stuff. I'm glad. But again,
Yeah.
I was a kid in the '70s, and so in the '80s, they didn't talk about that. All the Indians liked the English that came, and we all had Thanksgiving together. That's what I was taught. I didn't find out later.
Right.
Whatever.
Columbus, we had a little poem about
Oh
Columbus, and
yeah, oh
we
yeah,
made the little
oh yeah,
Mayflower hats and stuff.
oh
And
yeah.
then it was later that you're like, oh, he was a horrible person. I
Exactly.
had no idea. Like, yeah,
It fully came into focus for me when I went to the Dominican Republic, and I didn't go to the resorts. I didn't go to Punta Plana or Punta Cana. I actually went to Santo Domingo, stayed in the military district, and
Mhm.
and I saw the statues that were erected for Columbus, his wife, and how they light-skinned them. The
Of
ones that
course.
are actually Dominican, because they have the
Hmm.
face there too in color. And there's a lot of stuff that was going on that I saw. I actually saw the points of entry of slaves to the island
Mm.
that I was over there. I go to Caribbean all the time because I come from the Caribbean families, and so um, that's when I started going, oh, the pieces start putting together. And I encourage
Right.
everyone, if you don't know, go find out. And nowadays, you can go anywhere. And for me, it's like you go online, you can watch Netflix. I mean, there's documentary specials everywhere that talk about
Everywhere.
true American history. So
Yes.
that. So now, okay, so
That part.
you're getting into adulthood. So when did you want to be an actor? When did you know you want to be in the arts? I guess that's the question first. When did you want to be in the arts?
I've always wanted to be since I was like little. But I was really shy when
Oh,
it came to like performing arts. So I would, since I was a big like reader, I loved books. I would take a book and I'd go in my room and I would pick a character and I would act out everything that I read or everything that they said. But this was like in the confines of my room. This is
yeah,
my theater, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
And then I graduated from UCR and I was like, uh, I remember like sitting in front of the computer and sending in my applications for graduate school. And I was like, this is just not, like, I love psychology, but I just got to try. Let me just try. I don't know how to get started, but just let me try. And so I graduated. I gave my parents that they have my degrees at their house. So I was like, there you go. So you're happy, I'm happy. And I just got started. I just started researching and started to find projects and things and
Well,
learning what I needed.
I mean, okay, so who were people that you saw? What images did you see that you could relate to? Did you see any images before you got into the arts that of people you could relate to?
Um, I think like Sister Sister was a big show for me. The Cosby's, Family Matters, those sitcoms. Like I loved Laura from Family Matters. Like because she's a dark skinned girl like me,
Yes, yes, yes.
and we did our hair the same way. And Brandy or Moesha, I
Uh-huh.
had my micro braid fad that I went through.
Yes.
Very, I went through
I
it for a
love it.
very long
I love it.
time.
I love it. I
But
love
yeah, I think I always took to Angela Bassett though. Angela Bassett, and I'm like losing her name right now, and uh,
Oh, oh,
it'll come to me. It'll come to. She's on Greenleaf right now, and I'm so embarrassed that I forgot her name. But um, those are like my idols. Like to this, they're on my vision board right now. That I'm like, I have to work with you
I met
somehow, some
Beth.
way.
I met her, and she was very, very nice.
I love her.
Met her and her husband. They're they're actually very sweet. She actually, I always tell the story where we're at a play on Broadway. We're watching a play, and she's sitting 2 seats in front of me. And during the intermission, we're staying up stretching, and she came up to me and said, "Do I know you?" I'm like, "Girl, I am nobody, but I know who you are." And she started laughing, and then we started talking. I said, "I'm James Lott Jr. You know me, I always know I'm James Lott Jr. And then we started talking, and she and her husband were so sweet, and she's beautiful in person. You know, arms of death, no wrinkles,
Yes.
everything. We
She's
just
perfect.
playing, and she was just like, I just told her, I got to just tell her I admire your work. I think I said to her, I think it's because it's so mean. I think I said to her, they didn't know what to do with you in Hollywood because they don't know what to do with you in Hollywood, and you're good, and they need to do more stuff. And she couldn't stop laughing. She was like, "You're so funny." She goes,
Because
"I
it's so
appreciate it."
true.
It's so true. I mean, there's the thing. That's the thing. So you're walking into this, Jasmine, knowing that for darker skinned women, for strong Black women, the roles are kind of like, what do we do with you? Do we put you in a space movie, or do we put you in this over here, or put you on the last season of Alias? I mean, they didn't know what to do with her, it seemed like. So I'm like, I mean, what was it like for you coming into this business going, okay, well, I could get something, I guess.
It's hard. This business is I think what's difficult about it is, with any other profession, you have like steps, like, like defined steps, like I have to go to class, I have to get this credential before I can apply or for a job or whatever. But I feel like with this business, it's trial and error.
Yes.
And there's a lot of like, I think this might work. Oh crap, that didn't work. And for me, it's actually been kind of surprising because I went through a few I don't know what to call, like moments where I'm in an audition room and you look around and you see that nobody looks like you. So you're like, I don't know what they're looking for. I don't know why I'm here, because all these people look like they have a certain characteristics that I don't have. And in some cases that actually works in my favor.
I will say, yeah.
Which I'm very blessed and thankful for. But it's hard. I mean, being a Black actress, like even just having the right type of makeup team or the right type of hair team who understand that Black people are not just brown, and we have hues and other colors, and our hair textures are different. Like,
And we need to be lit
hard.
differently, folks. I had to yell at a director. I'm like, I need to be lit differently. I'm brown. Yeah. I'm washed out. What are you doing?
It came to a point now where if I see a Black person on set, especially like hair and makeup, I'm like, oh my God, thank you.
I know, thank you, Jesus.
I love you. So it's definitely difficult.
It is, and you mentioned something about representation, kind of seeing Brandy and people like Cheryl Lee Ralph, who's a darker, skinned woman, and people like that. I think it's so important for us to see those images. It's just so important. I mean, like, I don't know if people really realize the importance of just seeing somebody who looks similar to you, how that really can change the trajectory of your life and what you
do. Absolutely. Like, you got to think, like, we all start off as kids and you see, like, your imagination is like limitless when you're a child, and unfortunately, as you grow older, I feel like the world kind of dampens that creativity and stuff that you have. And so, like, to be able to see someone that looks like you, that can carry out those fantasies or whatever that you had in your head, is such a beautiful thing. You're giving so much to so many people when you take the time to make your cast or the crew diverse and tell stories that aren't the normal mainstream stories, because our world is so much bigger than that.
And Black folks are much bigger than that. We're not all raised the same. I was telling my dad, we don't all have the same experience.
Right.
We don't.
People need to understand that too.
Right.
Like, there's some things in Black culture that we all just kind of inherently know, but we all, like, it's very, very different from each other. Even, from generation to generation, what my parents went through versus what I went through is very different. Both my parents are from North Carolina, the South, like, both born in the 60s. Like, my mom's gonna be mad at me for saying that.
I don't know. I'm telling her, but I'm saying they look good. They're Black.
She looks good. But their experience is very different, being out in the country of North Carolina in the South and having to deal with that, versus me in San Diego, California, with more diverse, because in the South it's more black and white.
Yeah,
there isn't really a lot of
literally. It is.
Right, it's just black and white. There's not a lot of other ethnicities
No,
there. At least there's
back then there
starting to
was a
become
little more
more.
now. You're right, but back then.
Right, but San Diego, it's like everything is here.
Yeah.
So it's very, very different.
So how do you? Someone asked me this question about being a host. I'm going to ask you this question. How do you navigate your level of blackness in the business? I mean, we all have different levels of blackness, or whatever that means to you.
Yeah.
Like, how do you navigate that? I am a black woman. But I'm also an actor who wants to play all kinds of roles. So how do you kind of navigate that? Or how have you been navigating that?
I feel like, we all have eyes and we can see. And I'm like, I'm not trying to hide who I am, what I am. I am a black woman. I come from a long line of very beautiful, strong black women. And I just feel like a lot of it is, I really want to be an example for people. Other little girls are looking at me like I looked at Angela Bassett and Lynn Whitfield. That's the name I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah, we love her.
I love her.
Legend.
I want to be that for them. So I'm very aware of the types of roles that I take on. I'm very aware of how I am portrayed and what I put out on social media, that type of thing. And letting it be known to my management, to producers, whoever it may be, what I'll go for and what I will allow, and what is just not gonna have, we can't do that. So I think I'm very, very keen on what my morals and what my beliefs are, and what I feel as a black woman, how I want to be represented to my people and to, the world.
Yeah, because I'm sure you get all kinds of things come across your desk, as they say, desk, so to speak, and you're like, no.
Some of them, I swear to you.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
This is crazy. But then, you're a producer and you have been involved in some projects where you are actually now making decisions. So how does that feel, and how important is that to you?
It's important to me. It's extremely important to me because you get to put the pieces together. You get to kind of back up what you speak or what you say. When you say you want diversity, practice what you preach.
Yes.
Basically. And so I can preach, okay, let's figure out how to put more women in this cast. Is there women I can put on the crew? Is there more, any color? I need color.
Yeah, I need color. Yes, exactly. I love that.
Because you got to think about it. Like when you draw a picture or you paint a picture or something, you can't do everything with one color. I need to be able to give me everything so I can really show you how vibrant this story is. So I feel like with producing, I get the opportunity to be able to do that. Even directing, I direct a little bit.
Oh, that's right. That's right too. That's right. Oh, go on, girl. Tell them.
And I get to do that too, and bringing out stuff out of people. I think it's a great experience.
Because let people know this, that black actors can act anything if they're good.
Anything.
They can play anything. Like say you do a British accent in one of your roles. It's like you can play anything if you're a good actor.
Because that's the point. You're acting. The whole point is that you are, you're not yourself for a moment. You're taking someone's story and you're presenting it to the world. Whether you're an astronaut, you're a cowboy, whatever, a queen, whatever the case may be, that's your job as an actor. I think Hollywood is starting to turn a new leaf, and they're starting to understand that people of color don't have to be, just put into certain categories. Asians don't have to play, the meek people anymore. Black people, we can do more things and be, gangsters or whatever else,
Or like Issa Rae, played the awkward black girl, the nerdy black
because
girl.
that's our story. We're people. We're all very different. Like, my goodness, if people took the time to really listen to us and try to step outside of their own self and hear other people's stories and other people's experiences, they would know that.
And I just don't get. I'm 51 years old, and I don't understand that we're still having this conversation that black folks are people, that black actors can act. it's just like it's not an urban production because there are two black leads. I mean, it doesn't,
Right.
I mean, I thought that Lupita did such an amazing job in Us playing the
Yeah.
dual role of this
And
one
the
type person.
voice thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, what crazy talk.
Ugh.
It's like, but again, she's playing a role that traditionally is given to white girls. Traditionally given to like, it's like, thank God. Well, again, it had to be another black person, had to make that for her. But it's like, but still, it's like now we get to see that on a larger scale that black folks can play all kinds of things. It's not
Everything.
just the preacher or God,
Right.
or I mean, no, that's what I mean. I love Morgan Freeman when we started, but I'm saying, but I mean, it's like we can play all kinds of roles. It's okay. We can play vulnerable. We can play. And we were like, they didn't like it as much. I didn't mind Lovebirds with Issa Rae, and I thought it was kind of cute, but I thought again it was just like it was a throwback to old '80s movies I used to watch all the time with a little action, with a little comedy, and two leads that would never be two leads. That's right. To me was like whether you like it or not, it's like these are still two people that no one would cast in a romantic action thriller. I mean, like they created themselves. Like that to me, that's progress. To me, whether
absolutely,
you like it or not, different. That's progress.
I just watched. I think it's Never Have I Ever.
I want to see that.
It's on Netflix. It's a series, and it's I believe she's an Indian lead, and she has like a black friend, and she like it's very diverse. And I'm like, oh, this is a whole nother culture that we don't, and it's not just Bollywood.
Right.
So that's like all we get to see of them, and I'm like, oh, but there's so much more to them too. So it's nice to see their story. It's actually a really cute, quirky
I want to
series.
see it. I don't want to see it because I do like Indian stuff too. But I was going to ask you on the lines of that, what are some of your feelings when you see a show or a movie and there's like the token black person? I mean, should that die out at this point now? Like the sassy black neighbor or the hip.
I feel like it's one of those things like it's been done so much that I feel like and it's archived. So if I ever need to go watch it, we got it. But I would hope that we have this progression and that we're making, that we can continue on that path and keep telling different stories. Put people of color in places that you wouldn't, for whatever reason, normally think of them in. I'm more for turning a new page, starting a new chapter. We don't have to be the token random person anymore.
The random black guy, I always say. I
don't need that in my life.
No, I don't. What are some roles that you would like to play?
So I tell people that in another lifetime, I was like Egyptian. I was probably Cleopatra or something because I have such an obsession with their history. So I feel like I would want to play like a pharaoh because I have actually found that there were two women pharaohs in Egyptian history.
I know that.
I want to play that because Egyptians were black. They're black. So if you're going to tell those stories, I feel like a black woman should do it. So
I agree.
So I love period pieces. Period pieces are like I love them. So I think anything where I get to go back in time and dress up and the makeup and all that, those are dream roles for me.
Are there any historical figures you like to play? Speaking of that, just going along the line, are there anybody you think you would like to tackle? Anybody's life to tackle?
I probably want to do like Nefertiti or something.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I feel like that's just so, like in my head, I can picture it, And there's a few, I'm forgetting her name. I'm just forgetting everybody's name.
It's life.
There's this African, what is her name? She's an African like warrior. It's almost like Amazonian type, but she's for like a particular tribe, and she like led.
I'm blanking out too.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I would love to play that. I want, to see, because not only is you're a beautiful, powerful black woman, but like you're black and you're a woman, and you're leading the charge, and people are falling in line behind you. So probably something along those lines, I think, would be like dream roles.
Well, it's funny because, when I saw Black Panther, as you go back to something that's a marker in our history, that movie, I'm not even a huge Marvel person. I don't read comic books like that.
Same.
But I went to see it, and I cried at the beginning because, first of all, growing up, my grandson went to the movie, and that's what they know. My
Yeah.
grandsons only know Obama as their president for most of the time. Like, so for them, it's just regular. For me, I'm like, oh, like Papa Jamie, what's wrong with you? You don't understand. It's a Marvel. I'm like, I don't understand. It's a Marvel film.
Right.
Kid, it's, you know, I mean, seriously. And I just loved how African it was. It was a superhero movie,
Yeah.
but it was African in tone, in
Mhm.
I mean, everything. And all those beautiful black people. Everyone's black folks everywhere.
Yeah, you know what? It was one of those things where it told a story that I feel like we never touch on because there is a disconnect between Black Americans and Africans. There's this weird
Yeah.
disconnect that we just can't seem to figure out. So I appreciated them doing that. But I had the same, like, I was just in awe sitting down in Burbank Theater watching this movie and then seeing little Black kids with their,
Yeah.
T'Challa face masks and stuff, and I'm like, this is what we're supposed to be doing. Like this, you see, we can do it. And you saw the records they broke, So I was like, thank you. We've enough said.
If I had tea, I'd be sipping it right now. Yes, I
right, right. I'll go get the wine. I got wine behind me.
Okay.
But
But seriously, it's like, wow, it did good. It did really well in the theaters and stuff. Really? Okay. You're so surprised. Oh, okay. And it was right after, you had Wonder Woman in that. And it's like, women can lead films and blacks can lead films. And that's just a crazy idea.
Have you seen Hollywood on Netflix?
I just started it. So
okay, I won't tell you anything, but I love that.
Yeah, everybody loves it. Everybody. So I haven't heard any spoilers. I think good don't any spoilers, but I just started it yesterday.
Okay.
I'll let you guys know how what I'm thinking. But yeah,
please do, because we need to chat.
Yes, we'll chat about that. But no, but the thing is, like, it just kills me. It's like there are all these marginalized people they throw out there and go, they can sell tickets and people are going to show up. And it's like when I went to Wonder Woman, I was like one of two men in the whole theater. It was all, I loved it. It was all women. It was all of all colors. And they were all happy to be there to support this film. And Black Panther was all Black folks.
Yeah.
All really cheering on and watching this film. It was a great Black experience. And, folks yelling at the screen. I was one going,
that was me.
It's a Black thing. It's a Black thing, folks.
It's like family, just watching it with family.
Exactly. And I think and again, we needed that also. I mean, I think, and it leads to where we are today. It's that there's times when Black folks, I mean, I try to tell people sometimes, I'm exhausted. I said, this is 15 years of stuff that I've gone through. I said, I'm exhausted. And it's like, and every day I'm hyper aware of my Blackness when I leave the house. Every single day of my life. This is how it's for all Black people. We know this. And in the business, both in the entertainment business, I'm aware of my Blackness. In the entertainment business.
Yeah.
But we have to make choices sometimes. Like, well, I'm going to not take that role and maybe not make some money, but I'm going to hold out for something better that will be more suited to further the Black strong appearance. That's tough sometimes.
It's tough, especially because you want to advance your career. Like I have certain goals and certain circles that I'm like, that's what I'm aiming for. So when you do have to turn down roles, it hurts. But in my head, I'm like, you know what? I guess I'm taking the longer route, but I'll savor that victory that much more because I held out, and I didn't let, some people feel like you're getting older, so you got to hurry up and make a decision in Hollywood. Something has to happen.
Folks, you don't have to. I'm proof of that. You don't have to. You can start whenever.
People feel, oh, my clock's ticking, so I got to hurry up and do something. And I'm like, you know what? I am just one of those people that I truly, truly believe in my talent. I truly believe in me. And so I'm like, God, be my guide. And I know there's something there. My mom always says that the reason why my is taking a little longer is because I have such a tall order. And so God is making sure all the spices and everything is perfect before it's presented to me. And I was like, Mom, Black moms always have the right answer.
They do.
So I take that with me when I'm feeling discouraged.
I was told by mine that when all the doors close, it's just God narrowing the path for your greatness.
Amen. Absolutely.
I was like, done, God. And it really should change my focus on not getting that job I thought I wanted so bad. Oh my God, I wanted it so bad. It's going to change my life. And then later finding out, well, I got something else that was way better that changed my life. I mean, maybe that's,
right. And don't you feel so silly? Because there are times where I have been so devastated because
Oh,
I'm like, God, why would you like present this opportunity and then you took it away? Why are you punishing? Like, it's a whole thing because I'm very dramatic and I'm a Capricorn and we brood and all that stuff. But then later down the line, it's like that aha moment, like, oh, okay, now I know what you were doing. Okay, well, thanks.
one of the roles, strong roles you're playing that's very different is on Chronicles of Jessica Wu. I mean, that's something that you are playing this. I mean, that show is filled with strong Black women who are playing roles that you don't see normally either. I mean, it's very different. So kind of speak to that actually, that to your character, Miss Nickel, like Nickel. Talk about that.
Nicole
Yes.
Sarah Stanton from the UK, who wasn't normally from there, but she's stateside now with Sector 9.
I love it. I love what you do it. I love what you do it. I love it. No idea.
That role is a blessing. It has like really helped my career in so many ways. Um, and it's so crazy just to think that, when you audition for something, you kind of I just leave it in the room and don't think about it. And to think that I got to be a part of something just so great and so diverse and with a great message and with someone who is trying to show, Zane Hubbard, trying to show Black women in such a great light, or women of color in such a great light. None of us were like someone's baby mama. We weren't, hood. We were diverse. We're all over, and superheroes or villains, superpowers.
Right.
So I'm glad I got to be a part of that because it feels like a movement to me. And I hope that people catch on to it and we get to continue with it. But it's been an absolute blessing to be a part of.
I always liken it to, may she rest in peace, Diane Carroll, the amazing Diane Carroll.
Oh, yes.
Twice she broke barriers, first as Julia,
Mm-hmm.
playing a nurse, a single mother nurse. But then but the role that I, of course, loved her as on Dynasty, as Dominique Devereaux. And I remember she said, she was like, I'm very clear. I want to be the first Black bitch on television. And I remember when that came out, well, why is she on television? I'm like, what she's trying to say is, she's an actor. She wants to play an equal part to a white counterpart. There are white bitches everywhere on television, so why not? We shouldn't always be the good guys all the time either. It's like it's
right.
So we just said villains. We said, I was like, yeah, you can't be Black villains that are complex also. We're just asking for the same.
Because it's a story.
Story.
Villains have stories too. That's the point. That's why we gravitate towards them, because every villain, I personally like playing villains more than I like playing the good guy, and that's just I don't know.
And you're like one of the nicest people on earth in real life, so of course it makes sense. Of course it makes sense.
Because I feel like villains are so uninhibited. So I get to just kind of live through them. Like they are fully aware of the consequences and they don't care. Versus me in real life, I'm constantly weighing out like, oh, I shouldn't do that. And so it's nice to just be able to like not care. But it's all stories. You can find something to relate to the worst characters, and they each evoke emotions out of us. Like they're doing their job. There's always those characters you love to hate and you hate to love and all that.
Yes.
All that's in between. So.
Yeah, that's very true. And but again, we're back to this. These are actors who want to play multiple roles, and you should have the choice to play multiple roles, not just, well, you got to be the magical Negro, always be good and always be this. Like that's good too, and those images are really good to have also. Yeah, but you got to play the spectrum and have the choice to play the spectrum as your other counterparts do. I think that's a very important.
Right, just don't put us in a box. Exactly. You don't put our counterparts in a box. Don't put us in a box. Don't put anybody in a box. It should simply be whoever is talented and qualified to carry that role. That is who should be there. Point blank and period. Like,
I love that. As we wrap up, I can talk to you forever, but as we wrap up, what would you like to? I mean, we've been here before. Outrage, rioting. Yeah. I mean, I was here in '92, rioting. All stuff. But what would you like to see, personally yourself, kind of be born out of this?
I have noticed, as we said earlier, that we have support from all over the world. Other people are protesting and Black people are coming together. Even gangs and stuff are coming together. And it bothers me when we only come together when there's a crisis. We only come together when something tragic happens. And although this is very important for us to be together with and have our numbers and have our voices heard, I don't want us to lose our momentum and go right back to things as they were beforehand. If Black Lives Matter as much as we say they do, then we need to practice what we preach. We need to be there for each other. The division that we have within our community is shameful. It's shameful that we have to and over the most asinine things, colorism or team natural or team weave or whatever.
Exactly.
I just want to see this continue, and I would like it also to be a clear and distinct message to the police departments around the nation that you need to weed out the bad apples, as you like to call them. You need to weed them out because this behavior is no longer tolerated. You see they're burning down cities and precincts and stuff. Is it worth your city versus doing the right thing, charging, and not just charging, convicting these individuals that decide to participate in this type of behavior? And if you're a police officer that's scared of the community that you're in, you need to turn in your badge. That's not the job for you. It's very simple. It's no harm, no foul. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but that's just what it is. So I would hope that we've sent a very loud message to the world, to the Karens and permit patties of the world, that we're tired of not being able to just live, to just breathe, to bird watch, to walk, to jog, to whatever. We're human. Let us live. So I'm appreciative that people are opening their eyes and researching. So I just hope that can continue.
I second all that. I second all that. I think people do your education, start implementing systems regularly.
Yes.
Your companies, regularly in your record labels, regularly on your TV shows, things like that. Just regularly start being inclusive. Just
be inclusive and call out things as you see them. I don't want to wait till the internet does their research and then oh, did you know, by the way, this guy was affiliated with this group? No, record labels, businesses, whoever you are, call it out when you see it. Deal with it when you see it so everybody knows it will not be tolerated. This is a brand new day, so that's what I hope.
Okay. Well, I hope with you also. I love you, Jasmine. You know that.
I love you, love you, love you.
I love you. So tell folks where they can find you on the social medias.
I am Jasmine Hester, 23 everywhere. Instagram, Facebook's the only one. It's just Jasmine Hester. You can drop the 23. YouTube, I'm putting up new stuff. I'm going to put our interviews up there. I got new reels and new projects that I finally got the footage for on YouTube.
It's work, folks. It's work. You got to do all this stuff. A lot of work. It is.
It really is. It really is. So Jasmine Hester, 23, all across the board.
Follow her. Follow her. Follow her. Follow her. Follow her. Follow her.
Please do. I follow back. I promise.
She will. She'll follow you back. Let's do it. And you can follow me. We're all James Lott Jr. sold at James Lott Jr. and all social media platforms. And this is on JLJ Media. So I think down here, over there, it's like that. There's a button that says subscribe. It's somewhere. Subscribe. Subscribe. Share this with anybody you think needs to hear this or see this. Try to get these things out there. And so we're trying to create a dialogue. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to do. Because communication and dialogue is also the birthplace of change. So you have to really kind of start.
Amen.
Talking is good, folks. Talking is good.
Yes.
And listening is even better. And I'm James Lott Jr. And you can see me next time on my next episode of Extra Connections. Everybody take care, stay safe, and look within.